Welcome back, Captastic ladies and gentlemen, to another Meta Monday episode in this Pokémon TCG Online series where we take a look at competitive decks from the past or the present in a Pokémon TCG Online meta, as well as decks that might become a part of the meta in the future. Today I present to you a Wailord-EX stall deck. Stalling means that our only win condition is going to be to deck out our opponents. That is our only win condition. We are never ever going to attack with this deck except for some very specific situations, which I will get into later on in the deck analysis. But before we get into the deck analysis, let me tell you that the deck list I'm presenting to you is inspired by the list put out by the Team Fish Knuckles channel in, I believe it was April. He also put it out very recently, once again a slightly updated version. I have put a link down below in the description to his video. Check out his channel, check out his video, leave a like and show him some loving. He's a fantastic PokeTuber with fantastic quality content. I ported his list to the expanded format and I have made some slight tweaks, some slight changes to it, which I will go over into the deck analysis right now. Wailord-EX has 250 HP and that is exactly why Wailord is at the central point, at the focus point of this deck. It is the Pokemon with the most hit points currently printed, and therefore it is the Pokemon which is the toughest to knock out of all Pokemon in the format, except if my opponent is playing grass Pokemon, because Wailord is grass weak. But for any other Pokemon, Wailord is a tough guy to deal with. My opponent probably does not hit for a one-hit KO on Wailord-EX, and that is exactly what we want, because we want our Wailord to stay alive in the active spot, and so that we can pass our turn and force our opponent to eventually deck out, run out of resources. Wailord could hit for a high breaching for 120, then this Pokemon is asleep, because it's way too much effort for Wailord to hit for a high breaching. We are never going to attack for that attack simply because we don't run enough water energies in this deck. I do play one water energy and I will tell you why later on. It's important to note that Wailord has a 3 retreat cost, so if we want to get it out of the active spot, we will have to either AZ it up or Cassius it into our deck. And I do run a couple of copies of AZ. I have 4 copies of AZ as well as 3 copies of Cassius. Very high counts of those cards just to shuffle back our Wailord into our deck, or to pick it up when it is heavily damaged. Then we can bench it once again, promote another Wailord, and at some point later in the game we have a fresh Wailord to go on our bench, a fresh Wailord to promote into the active spot once we pick up our other Wailord with another AZ. So that is one of the strategies we can pull off. Another of the strategies is using the Team Fly Grunt to discard energies attached to our opponent's active Pokemon and prevent our opponent from attacking. Hopefully that will buy us enough turns to deck out our opponents eventually. We can also discard energies using, that is not what I wanted to show, using the Xerosic to discard special energies against decks like Night March, or Xerosic to discard a tool card like Floatstone on a Hoopa, and then we can Lysandre out that Hoopa. I do play 2 Lysandres in this deck. Hopefully get that Hoopa stuck in the active spots and deck out our opponent that way. So that's yet another way to deck out our opponent, simply by Lysandring out a Pokemon and get it stuck in the active spots. We also have Enhanced Hammers to discard special energies, which is a nice additional possibility for us to discard energies in addition to the Xerosic, since the Enhanced Hammer is an item card, which means we can use it in combination with, for example, an AZ. Now, Wailord is not the only Pokemon in this deck that we are going to use to stall. Another Pokemon is Suicune with the Safeguard, preventing all effects of attacks, including damage done to Suicune by Pokemon EX. So if we are up against a deck that solely relies on EX Pokemon, we are not going to promote our Wailord. Instead, we are going to promote our Suicune in the active spot and wall with the Suicune, prevent our opponent from doing any damage to us. 2 copies of Suicune, so even if our opponent Hex Maniacs one of our Suicunes, we can still get out another Suicune with, for example, the Pokémon Fan Club, put it onto our bench and put it in the active spot once more. Then I also have one Aegislash-EX. Aegislash-EX is going to be used to wall against Vespiquen, Flareon, because they typically rely on DCEs, and Aegislash prevents any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from each of our opponent's Pokemon that have any special energies attached to it. My opponent can again Hex Maniac and get through the Mighty Shield that way, but then we still have our other Pokemon like the Wailord. Although the Wailord is not a very good Pokemon to put in the active spot against Vespiquen Flareon, because Vespiquen is a grass Pokemon and very easily one-hit KOs our Wailord. Vespiquen Flareon is actually one of the tougher matchups for us, which means we need to try to mill him out as quick as we can. And we can do that with our Bunnelby. Bunnelby can help us to mill our opponent with the Burrow attack. We can use it twice in one turn thanks to the Omega Beret trait, and we can also use the Bunnelby to rototill our resources back into our deck, like the Enhanced Hammers to discard the DCEs attached to a Vespiquen, or for example like a DCE ourselves, because we do run DCEs. We need energies to use with the Bunnelby, otherwise we cannot attack with the Bunnelby. So we have the DCEs to do that, but we also have this one water energy. Why one water energy? Well, you never know, we might actually be able to power up Suicune and hit for an Aurora Beam, possibly take a prize in some games that way, take some prizes just to get some important resource from the prizes if we know that it is prized. For example, the Hugh may be prized, the one copy of Hugh in this deck. Each player either draws or discards until he or she has 5 cards in his or her hand. This card is simply in this deck to prevent one strategy that my opponent could pull off, and that is fill up his hand size until he has 30 cards in his hand and then play an N to time us out eventually, to run us out of time, because the timer in the PTCGO only has 25 minutes on it. So Hugh prevents that. We can play down our Hugh if we see that our opponent is filling up his hand and force my opponent to discard a ton of cards, which brings him much closer to the deck out at the same time. So if this card is prized, we might have to look for it by attacking with the Suicune for an Aurora Beam, or by attacking with the Lugia-EX for an Arrow Ball. We can attach a DCE to Lugia, hit for an Arrow Ball against something like an Yveltal EX, which typically has 2 or 3 energies attached to it, so that's not too bad. We are hitting for 100 damage against Yveltal, and we can even go for a Deep Hurricane for 150 to get an easy knockout on stage 2s if we have 2 DCEs attached to Lugia. Now the main use of Lugia is to knock out Bunnelbys of my opponents. For example, a Bunnelby in a Vespiquen Flareon deck could be used for my opponent to shuffle back DCEs and resources, and that way my opponent would never ever deck out, basically taking away our entire win condition for the game. So we want to knock out our opponent's Bunnelby with our Lugia-EX or with the Suicune EX. To make it a little bit easier for us to get out this one water energy, I run one Steven. Steven can get us that water energy, and at the same time it can get us a supporter. I think Steven is very powerful in this deck because of that very reason. It can get us that energy, but also a supporter like an AZ to AZ up our Wailord in the next turn. Similar to Steven, we also have 2 Skyla in this deck. Skyla can also search for supporter cards like the Steven, but has a more versatile use because it can also look for item cards like the Max Potions. We play 4 Max Potions to heal off our Wailords, to heal off our Aegislash, and to heal off our Suicune. So we can Skyla for a Max Potion. We can also Skyla for a Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball is in this deck to help us get out our Wailords a little bit easier, in addition to the Pokemon fan clubs, as well as to get out the Aegislash when we need it, because the Aegislash has a 3 retreat cost, and Heavy Ball allows us to search out Pokemon with a retreat cost of 3 or more. Then we can also Skyla for a Puzzle of Time. If we have a Puzzle of Time in our hand, we can Skyla for a second puzzle, play down 2 puzzles in the same turn, and get back some resources from our discard pile, like a DCE. If we somehow were forced to discard a DCE before, if our opponent played an Enhanced Hammer on our few DCEs in this deck, that is definitely a possibility. We can get back the DCE, but most of the time we will get back Max Potions and AZs, things like that, or Team Flag Grunts to disrupt our opponent. Finally, we can also Skyla for a Scramble Switch. Scramble Switch is going to allow us to keep our energies on the field, and on different types of Pokemon. We can Scramble Switch the energies from a Suicune onto a Bunnelby, for example, or from a Suicune onto a Lugia, or even just from a Wailord onto a Lugia, because sometimes we will want to attach energies to the Wailord to get rid of poison damage, since lasers are a thing in the expanded format. When the Wailord gets lasered in the expanded format, he gets poisoned, and with the Verbeck City Gym, that puts 30 damage on the Wailord in between turns, so 60 damage per turn, which is actually quite a lot for us to deal with. What we want to do if that happens is attach an energy to the Wailord and get rid of that poison damage for the moment if we have an energy in our hands. We can also Skyla for VS Seekers, and finally we can Skyla for the Stadium, Skyla for the Rough Seas once during our turn. we may heal 30 damage from each of our water Pokemon, so we can heal up our Wailord a little bit, get rid of some of the poison damage from the lasers if the Verbank City Gym is in play, for example. I also have some tool cards in the deck. We have some Hard Charms, 3 copies of Hard Charms, just to reduce the damage done to our Pokemon. If we Hard Charm our Wailord gets the equivalent of 270 hit points as long as it has not been damaged yet, which is fairly impressive. That is actually impressive. The mighty Wailord with 270 hit points. And I think that is it for the deck analysis. So we shall find ourselves some battles right now. Be warned though, battles are either very long and drawn out with this deck, or very short if my opponent realizes we are playing Wailord style and doesn't want to get annoyed by it. Then sometimes the opponent just concedes straight away. Leave a like if you enjoy the upcoming battles, and subscribe to my channel for more Meta Monday videos and Meta Monday deck ideas, and I will see you in the battles in a moment. Our first opponent of the day is going to be Last_Order 66 with a Water, Psychic, Metal and a Dragon deck. I have got a feeling I am supposed to know what my opponent is playing, but for some reason I cannot really put my finger on it. It might be Toad Giratina, I'm not too sure. We start off with a Wailord, no mulligan, which is awesome, because typically you mulligan with this deck. We only play like 8 basics, 9 basics. Well, actually, it's not too bad. I thought we played less. So let's click done. We can't do anything else. We can search out a Wailord with this Heavy Ball or an Aegislash, depending on what my opponent is playing. Might be an Aegislash if my opponent plays Special Energies. Scoops up the Jirachi. Okay, we won the game. That is how it's going to be, possibly in some other matches as well. Because if our opponent sees he's facing Wailord, he can just scoop the game like that if he doesn't want to deal with us. Okay, let's see if I can find ourselves another opponent. N3N0 is going to be our opponent with a water, no, a grass and a colorless deck. Oh man, a grass deck. Oh no, we are grass weak. That is going to be one hell of a tough job for us to deal with my opponent's deck. Hopefully we can pull it off somehow. Hopefully we can somehow. We start off with a mulligan. Hopefully we can find the Suicune. If this is a deck that plays grass EXs, let's hope they are EXs, then we can go with our Suicune. Another mulligan. Yeah, if it's not EXs, then we will have to go with our Wailord, but I really don't wanna play Wailord against a grass deck. That is not gonna end well. There is the Suicune. We also get a Scramble Switch. It's one switching option for us in our hands. We have some Team Rocket's Handiwork. Flip 2 coins and we get to discard 2 cards from the top of our opponent's deck. I think I forgot to mention this card in a deck analysis. I think I did. I must have well forgot about it. It is another option for us to mill out our opponent a little bit quicker, and we can get back the Team Rocket's Handiwork with our VS Seekers as well. Oh no, it's Raticate BREAK. That is certainly a problem. For sure, unless we can discard all of their DCEs, because they can one-hit KO the Wailord very, very simply, as well as the Suicune. Oh man, the mighty Wailord stands no chance against Raticate BREAK. Where are our Enhanced Hammers and our Xerosics? Come to us, we need you right now. Very, very soon. We need you very, very soon. Pokémon Fan Club. Well, we won't see an attack in the next turn yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not Pokémon Fan Club just yet. I'm going to Team Rocket's Handiwork here. It is 1 heads and 2 heads. Yes, we discard hopefully a DCE. We discarded a DCE. I cannot believe it. We discarded a DCE. My opponent does play normal energies, water energies. So that's good to know, but at least we got rid of that DCE, and he also discarded a Super Rod, which means he cannot get back those water energies unless he plays another Super Rod. There is the Raticate. Alright, we need some more benched Pokemon in the next turn. Can my opponent find a Floatstone to retreat this Ariados? There is a Shaman. For some reason the sound cut out when my opponent evolved. Shaman, he is drawing through his deck big time, so he's helping us out in decking himself out, but I'm not sure if it's going to be fast enough for us to get rid of all of his, or to wait long enough. What am I saying here? I'm not sure if it is going to be fast enough for us so that he decks himself out before he can get his Raticates going and knock out our opponents, our Pokemon. That's what I was trying to say. And energy. Let's see. We could Lysandre the Shaman. My opponent is going to go for the Raticate BREAK. Needs to find a Raticate BREAK to knock us out. No, we need to find some more benched Pokemon right now. Some more Pokemon to bench. I could go for a Bunnelby and Mill. Or a Lugia and hit against the Raticate BREAK. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 110. 100. We actually hit for 100 damage against the Raticate BREAK. I could Lysandre out that Raticate and knock it out in the next turn if my opponent doesn't find a Raticate BREAK. That might actually be the play. I'm going to grab the Lugia as well as the Bunnelby. We are not going to get out our Wailord. There is no point going with the Wailord. Bunnelby it is, as well as the Lugia. We need to find a DCE for the Lugia though. I thought we had a DCE in hand. I was mistaken. It was a Water Energy. Then we will bench our Stadium. Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe let's just Scramble Switch. Scramble Switch into the Bunnelby and start milling here. Who knows, we might be able to mill another DCE. So let's burrow once via Seeker, fantastic. Let's burrow twice. And an Assault Vest, not so fantastic. Not so fantastic. 3 via Seekers in a discard pile. He does have some more draw supporters. Only 1 Sycamore and 1 Birch. I want him to have some draw supporters. There is the Raticate BREAK, so we won't be able to knock it out. Winona. Can my opponent retreat this turn and attach an energy? No, he doesn't need to attach an energy to the Raticate BREAK. He just needs to retreat. Raticate. Probably another Rattata. Although my opponent doesn't really need any more Pokemon. Right now he is set. He doesn't really need anything else. Luckily we have the Lysandre, so we can Lysandre out the Shaman. Force my opponent to... There is an energy, so we will see a knockout on the Bunnelby. Unfortunately. Can we discard a DCE? Is my opponent really going to discard a DCE here to retreat into the Raticate? Amazing, he did. He did retreat by discarding a DCE. Shaman for some more cards, down to 16 cards. Can we stall long enough here until my opponent has used 16 more cards? Poisonous Nest and a knockout on our Bunnelby. Our play is for sure going to be the Team Flag Grunt on the Raticate BREAK. Unfortunately, this Raticate BREAK has free retreat, so he can retreat into the Raticate there. Let's promote our Suicune. Might as well bench the Stadium and heal up a little bit. Hard Charm, not useful, not useful. Let's discard this DCE and hope that my opponent's last DCE is prized as well as his other energies. 3 DCEs in the discard pile. That is the only thing giving us hope right now. A Raticate BREAK comes down and an energy on that Raticate BREAK. Oh no, we will see another knockout. This could be GG in the next turn if we cannot find any more basics. And if he finds an energy to retreat the Shaman. 90 damage on our Suicune and a knockout. So we have to promote our Lugia. Oh boy, this is going to be an important turn right here. We do get... Damn, I am short. I am short on energy to knock out the Ariados. I am short. Yeah, if I hit against the Raticate BREAK, I am going to get knocked out. I will attach the DCE. There is no doubt about it. I will attach the Hard Charm. No need to keep it in our hands. And we are going to Lysandre out a Shaman. And possibly just attack the Shaman here. Hit for an Arrow Ball for 40 damage. Pass our turn. If my opponent has an energy in hand, this is it. This is game. How many energies does he play? 4 DCEs, there's no doubt about it, but possibly also 4 basic energies, and there is the basic energy. So that is it. That is Wailord against Raticate BREAK. A loss as is expected against that deck. Very much expected. We were close, we were close. We were very close. We nearly discarded all of their DCEs. Just 1 energy short there. And we got an AZ, which was not going to help us. So let's see if we can find ourselves another opponent. Our next opponent is going to be Kratos99 with a Dragon, Colorless, Psychic, and a Darkness deck. Hopefully this time we are not facing something like a Raticate BREAK, one of the worst matchups possible. I mean, I never run into Raticate BREAK on the PTCGO, but I sure did when I was playing Wailord. I sure did just now. Let's see, what do we face? Do we face an Yveltal deck? We start off with a Wailord. I could start off with my Bunnelby, but we don't have an energy. If we did, I might have done it just to mill my opponent a little bit. Do I bench the Bunnelby? Not yet. I'm gonna see what my opponent is playing here. Take a sneak peek at his active Pokemon. It is, oh, Noibat. Excellent Noivern deck, which which spreads damage on the bench, which is fantastic because we can heal off that damage. We can actually also look for a Aegislash, prevent damage done to the Aegislash if my opponent attaches a double Dragon energy. For now, I think we will go with the N. Maybe not. Let's just sit on our hands. We are no danger of anything. In the next turn, if my opponent attaches an energy, we will Team Flag Grunt the energy away out of the active into the discard pile, and he does attach to the Noibat. I don't think he realizes what we are playing just yet, so we'll Team Flag Grunt right here and pass our turn. These are going to be some very quick turns. I'm probably going to end in the next turn if I don't get another Team Flag Grunt or a VS Seeker, or if my opponent realizes and attaches to the bench, but he does not. He just attaches to the Noibat once more. Max Potion, not useful, so let's go for that N. Yes, let's shuffle all those cards back into my deck. I could have gone for the Lysandre, but we actually get not too bad of a hand here. That's actually a really decent hand. We can VS Seeker for the Team Flag Grunt, get rid of the energy once more, possibly a double Dragon energy if my opponent attaches one to the Noibat. Oh, Mewtwo-EX, that's a whole different story now, because the Mewtwo can hit for quite a bit of damage against our Wailord. If my opponent stacks up on energy on the Mewtwo, we will need to find the Lysandre out at Mewtwo and discard the energies with our Team Flag Grunt, or find our Enhanced Hammers or our 06, because he did attach that DCE there. Still a long ways to go for my opponent to knock out our Wailord. Pokémon Fan Club. I think I'll leave the Pokémon Fan Club for now, probably use it in the next turn. I'm going to Skyla for an Enhanced Hammer, discard that DCE straight away, make it clear to my opponent that he can expect lots of energy disruption in this game. No nonsense, we have a no nonsense approach to this game. We are going to be annoying as possible. Another Mewtwo comes down, and an end from my opponent. Oh, that's unfortunate. We had a very good hand. What can we get from the end? Can we get another Enhanced Hammer, possibly? A Xerosic, that is fantastic, as well as a Suicune, even more fantastic. And a pass of the turn. Xerosic, do I want to use my Xerosic on that Spirit Link? I think that's a bit of a waste. So we'll just pass the turn here. No need to do anything since my opponent didn't do anything. I'm not sure why he's not doing anything, because he is going to deck out before we do. There's no doubt about it. We have used way less resources. A Shauna for my opponent. Maybe he's just got very bad hands. He must have got very bad hands. Shauna and N in the same deck. There is an energy on the Noibat and a Gust for 20. No need to heal up just yet. No need to bench a Wailord. Well, I might actually bench the Wailord. And do I want to bench the Suicune? I think not. I will keep the Suicune in my hand for now. We'll just pass the turn. When the Wailord has maybe like 100 damage on it, we could bench our Rough Seas, start healing it up, possibly. Or we could just Max Potion. I want to keep my Rough Seas until my opponent plays a Stadium. An energy on the benched Mewtwo. And another Wailord. Might as well bench that Wailord. Yeah, we'll just end our turn. We really don't need to do anything here. We can just let our hand fill up with healing cards and energy disruption cards. Possibly a Lysandre. Still looking for that Lysandre. Another energy on a Mewtwo-EX. I think my opponent plays lots of energies in his deck. I just got that feeling that my opponent plays lots of energies. A VS Seeker for Team Flag Grunt. Yep, that's what we are going to go for. Team Flag Grunt, get rid of one more energy from our opponent. And pass our turn once more. I am still curious if he plays DC Double Dragon Energies, DDEs, Professor's Letter for some more energies. More energies. Maybe we should just promote our Bunnelby and look for an energy in our own deck, because our opponent doesn't seem to do too much damage to us. We could mill 3 times before our opponent knocks us out. 80 damage on the Wailord and another Team Flag Grunt. We don't like the Team Flag Grunt. Let's discard that Darkness Energy one more time, and we have 3 more Seekers to go, as well as one more Team Flag Grunt. Let's bench our Rough Seas. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start healing up a bit. Now my opponent knows that he needs to find his Noivern to do some more damage, because just the Noibat is not gonna cut it. We are healing more than the Noibat is doing to us. My opponent could retreat into the Mewtwo, and does retreat into the Mewtwo. Will you see the Mega Mewtwo come out? No, just a Photon Wave for 30, which we are going to heal up straight away. If the Mega Mewtwo comes out, the Mega Mewtwo can hit for 1, 2, 3, and then a DCE is 5 times 30 is 150. That's not a knockout on our Wailord, so we are safe for now. I think I will bench the Suicune now. I think I will. And Xerosic away the Spirit Link. I'm not sure. No, I'm gonna keep the Xerosic. I don't mind the Mega Mewtwo too much if it does come out. Another Professor's Letter. Yeah, my opponent plays so many energies. I bet you he plays like 15 energies or something like that. Just our luck that we run into a deck with so many energies, which is one of the most annoying decks for us to run into. I could go for a Hugh here and force my opponent to discard some cards from his hand, because he's got a pretty big hand here. There is an energy, we'll get hit for 120 damage. And the Noivern, but it's not the Noivern I was expecting. I was expecting a different kind of Noivern. Cyburn for 120. Let's heal up a little bit with the Stadium. Not that it matters. Not that it matters. We kind of need something to pick up this Wailord. We have the Max Potion for now, but we really need something to pick up the Wailord, or the Wailord will go down. Xerosic Pokemon Fan Club. Let's go with the Xerosic and then the Pokemon Fan Club. We are not top decking anything to heal the Wailord in the next couple of turns. That's slightly annoying. So let's heal up the Wailord, and I will Xerosic the Spirit Link away. I don't want to see the Mega Mewtwo knowing that I don't have anything to heal up this Wailord in the next couple of turns. And we'll end our turn here. Oh, this is gonna be such a long game. My opponent is not drawing anyways. He's not drawing in anything. He's not using supporters. He's just top decking just like we do. We are in top deck mode for sure. Cyburn for 120. This is gonna be a 3-hit KO on our Wailord. 3-hit KO. Let's thin out our deck a little bit more with the Pokemon Fan Club. And let's get out another Wailord, as well as a Suicune. So we increase our chances of drawing into some more cards, and now we also reset our deck, so we know that we can now top deck something better than what we were going to top deck. We reset our deck that way with the Pokemon Fan Club. Dual use on the Fan Club. Maybe I should have mentioned that in the deck analysis, because that is actually a really useful use of the Fan Club in combination with the puzzles. If you know that you're not going to get anything and you can reset your deck somehow, you really should do it. And I did. Let's heal 30. This is going to be a knockout, unfortunately. We will bench another Suicune. And I'm going to attach... No, I'm going to keep this energy for the Bunnelby. Because we need to speed up this decking out process. We might just want to promote our Bunnelby at some point and burrow. Probably when my opponent is down to like 6 cards or something like that. An energy on the Noibats. And there is the Double Dragon energy. I must have missed it before. I could have Xerosic that away. Yeah, this is going to be a knockout, and I will then have to Xerosic away that Double Dragon energy. So my opponent cannot hit for 120 damage against our Suicune. Oh boy, this is going to be much more tougher than I expected, because we are not getting what we need from the top decks. Let's Xerosic the double Dragon Energy away, prevent the knockout in the next turn unless my opponent has another double Dragon Energy in his hand. If he does, then he takes one more prize, and then all he needs to do then is knock out another Suicune and a Wailord, and that's it. That's GG for my opponent. But by then we definitely should be able to draw into a VS Seeker, possibly, or an AZ, or even a Cassius, because we have so many in our deck yet, still, and we also have Max Potions left in our deck, as well as a Skyla, a Steven. Wow, Mega Mewtwo comes out. Does my opponent have a Hex Maniac, or is he going to retreat this Mega Mewtwo? I think we will see a retreat. Yes, there is a retreat. Discards 2 more energies. How many energies are in the discard pile? 6. 8 energies in the discard pile. Promotes the... Oh, and he has the double Dragon Energy. Freaking kidding me? I cannot believe this. That's so much bad luck for us. At least he has to discard another energy. At least there's that. So we'll promote our Wailord. There's no point promoting our Suicune right now. He can actually take this game here. We need to use this puzzle. We need to top deck something. Max Potion, Cassius, and Hard Charm. Alright, I'm fine with that. I like that a lot. That's 3 healing options in a row right there. So we are safe for a moment here. Safe for 3 more turns. But we have more than 24 turns to go if my opponent is gonna keep top decking like that. And might as well, I think, because he is getting his energies. He's getting everything he needs. He does decide to attack with the Noivern for some reason. Discards some more energies. He might deck himself out, run himself out of energies that way if he's gonna keep doing that. We will heal up a little bit. We should be safe for the next turn. My opponent can hit for 4 times 30 is 120, 130 in the next turn with the Mega Mewtwo. That is not a knockout at most. So we are fine by just passing the turn. Keep this Max Potion for the next turn so that we can use the Max Potion to its maximum potential. Heal off more than 200 damage on the wow, attaches a DCE to the Noivern, promotes the Suicune, brings himself down to 2 prizes. Alright, so very very clutch for my opponent there to do that. I gotta give it to my opponent. That was nice. And now all he needs to do is knock out a Wailord. That's all he needs to do. This is actually going to be a close game and an exciting game. I was not expecting it at the start of this game. Honestly not. But it is. It turns out that it is going to be a close game. And right now it looks like my opponent has got the advantage for sure. For the moment, we still have lots of healing options in our deck, and as long as we don't see some Lysandres, some ends at the moment, I think we have a shot at staying alive. But I definitely need to be careful here, since I know he plays N, and he probably plays more than one N as well, so it is likely that he will get an N shortly, in a couple of turns maybe. Might even have it in his hand right now, and he goes for the tuning. It draws as many cards as we have in our hand. Excellent. He actually did not attack us for some reason there and decided to draw through his deck. Wow, I was not expecting that. We have healed up this Wailord nearly already, so we don't need to do anything. I could bench, I am going to bench this Wailord. Am I going to use the Hugh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm not going to use it just yet. I'm going to wait until I've used my Max Potion, and then possibly use my Hugh unless my opponent reshuffles his hand. Counters the stadium. It is a all-night party. A bit of a weird choice for my opponent to go with, but okay. Sharon for 3 cards. Now he's drawing through his deck. Excellent. He needs some more energies, it seems. And an Air Slash for 100. Discarding that Psychic Energy. Good indeed. Let's counter that stadium. Let's heal up and just pass our turn. The Wailord is not going to get knocked out. Let's count it up for sure, to be sure. We have 2 energies on the Mewtwo with the DCE, that's 130. 130 minus 20 is 110. This Pokemon only hits for 100, so that's not a knockout. The other Pokemons are not a knockout either. Unless my opponent ends us into a terrible hand, we should be safe. But I think he won't end, because that would bring him down to 2 cards. And I think he wants to get as many cards in his hand for some reason, for his energies. Yes, there's another energy. We'll get hit for 100 more damage. No end, no nothing. Excellent. We will heal up all the damage. Let's quickly look at my opponent's discard pile. 12 energies in a discard pile. I told you, he's running lots of energies. He is running a ton of energies. Max Potion and end my turn. No need to go with our ends. Unless we really have to. Alright, yeah, this is one of those matches that is just a very long and drawn out match. You saw the very short match at the very start of this video, and we are going to end with a very long match. Another energy on that Noivern for 100 damage. We'll heal off 30. Discard yet another energy. Jesus. We get a DCE, not too useful. Yeah, I'll just pass my turn. I might just use my Hugh here just to use a supporter, force my opponent to discard some cards from his hand, probably like 2 cards only, but hey, it is 2 cards, so if we see an end, that's 2 cards less that will get shuffled back into my opponent's deck. What is he going to discard? Yeah, it's 2 cards. He has 9 cards in his hand, we have 7 cards in our hands. Did he notice that he needs to discard some cards? Oh, he does. Oh, it's actually bring it down to 5 cards. I forgot. I misread the card, or I misremembered the cards. We need to discard cards until we both have 5 cards in our hand. So I'm going to discard an N, and I'm going to discard probably the Bunnelby. Maybe not. Let's just keep that Bunnelby in hand, and let's discard the DCE. I want to keep 1 draw supporter in my hand. Yeah, we'll keep the energy and the Bunnelby. And then we can Cassius away the Wailord and possibly deck out my opponent with the Bunnelby. Speed up the deck out a little bit as soon as my opponent is down to like 2 cards. Not waste any more time. Another double dragon energy. Is going to discard that double dragon energy. My opponent has to. Now we need to Cassius away the Wailord. Let's heal up first. Oh, we actually have the Max Potion. I will go for the Max Potion then. Use the Max Potion on the Wailord instead of the Cassius. Maybe we can keep the Cassius until the end of the game and then shuffle the Wailord, promote our Bunnelby. And that's my ideal strategy here. How many more Max Potions do we have? 0, I think. No, I run 4. We should have 1 more. Wow, another double dragon energy. That is 4 double dragon energy that my opponent had in his deck. A Hard Charm. Might as well attach that Hard Charm to our Wailord and end our turn. Can he keep the energies coming? I think when he runs out of energies, he's just going to concede. 4 energy. What he really should do is attach to his Mewtwo. He should not be attaching to his Noivern. He should be attaching to his Mewtwo. Mewtwo can hit for a potential 1-hit KO. No! He plays Fisherman! He plays Fisherman! He shuffles back all those energies in a deck. Are you kidding me? No! I cannot believe it. This is one of the worst decks to face. Just like that Raticate BREAK deck. We have no luck today with the decks that we are facing. Aha! Team Rocket's Handiwork. Aha! That's interesting. I will Cassius and promote my other Wailord. In the next turn, we are going to use the Team Rocket's Handiwork and speed up the deck out a little bit here. For sure. And if we get a VS Seeker, we might use it once more and hopefully deck out our opponent that way. All we need is 3 heads. So we can use it once, get 2 heads, and then use it once more, get 1 more heads. And that's enough to deck out my opponent, unless we see an N. Unless we see an N. Yeah, let's just hope we get some heads on the Team Rocket's Handiwork. But knowing my luck, I'm gonna flip 2 tails. Air Slash for 100 damage. Alrighty. We'll heal up a little bit. VS Seeker, that's good, so we can use the Cassius once more. We will use the Team Rocket Handiworks for now. It is a heads and a tails. Okay, that's good. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. We will end our turn. In the next turn, I'm going to go for another Cassius, possibly. I think I will have to. I know my opponent has more energies. I just know it. We know he has 2 more. He used the Fisherman. He hasn't played a single VS Seeker though. Okay. Down goes the energy. Back into the discard pile. And another VS Seeker. Fantastic. We can actually Pokemon Fan Club get back our Wailords. Let's see. We need to Cassius. I could Bunnelby, discard 2 cards, and then go with my Team Rocket's Handiwork in the next turn. And I think I will. I'm going to bench my Bunnelby even though it will get knocked out. It is only 1 prize. We are going to take the game right here. We are going to close out the game. Cassius, it is. Cassius back this Wailord in the deck. I know I can leave it in the active spot because the Noivern only hits for 100, but I don't want to risk a knockout by the Mega Mewtwo EX all of a sudden with a DCE or something. And we shall burrow twice, discard 2 cards from our opponent's deck. What can we discard? Buddy Rescue, 1 more card into my opponent's hand. Does he have the N? If he has the N, he needs to play it now or it is going to be GG. It is going to be GG for sure. An energy. Is he going to play the N? Please no N, please no Judge. Just let us take this game. The VS Seeker for an N. Oh, for a Fisherman. What? Okay. I think my opponent doesn't know that he's losing the game. I think he has never played against Wailord. I think he has never played against Wailord. This is a good learning school for my opponent here. Hopefully he learns from this match that he doesn't, or that he shouldn't keep attaching to the same Pokemon over and over. If it cannot get a 1-hit KO on a Wailord, there is no point to it, and certainly not when it discards energies. Well, he could get them back with the Fisherman, we saw that. So we will, oh, we get another Wailord. Let's bench that just to be sure. And then let's get our Team Rocket's Handiwork. Make sure our opponent loses the game going into his turn. Can we flip 1 heads? 1 heads is all we need. That's all we need to close out the game right here. Tails. No! No! Are you kidding me? We flipped Tails. So now he can still play an N. We gave him a shot at an N. You have any win ever? Yes, I am going to have a win right here. I don't know why he's saying that. If he passes a turn, it is a win. So he must have an N then, I guess, because he says that. I will just say yes. And yes, I do. With a smiley face. We won't reveal anything. We are not going to give our opponent a clue that he has to shuffle his hand. Does he realize? Or does he not? That's the one and only question right now. And I don't think he realizes. I think retreats into the Mega Mewtwo, but that's not a knockout. So I don't know what he's doing. If he finally does what he was supposed to do 20 turns ago or so. He finally does what he was supposed to do then. And will we see anything else? An N! He does play an N! Are you kidding me? He does play an N! No! He does play the N! I cannot believe it! He realized. Oh man, he did realize. Oh boy. 100 damage, that is not enough. That is still not a KO. We can Skyla here. I'm gonna put the Heart Charm on the Wailord. Probably going to use the Puzzle of Time. The chance of drawing into another puzzle is not very likely. We will get a Lysandre out, possibly the Mewtwo on my opponent's bench to stall a little bit. Then we'll get an N, and then we'll get a Hard Charm. Alright, so apparently it's going to take a little bit longer here. Might as well Skyla, I think, maybe not. Yes, might as well get a Cassius. Let's take a look at our deck as well. We have a Scramble Switch, we have Enhanced Hammer, Max Potion, Steven, Lysandre, Cassius, one more VS Seeker, 2 more AZ. So I think we are looking pretty good for the rest of the game. Only the Fan Clubs, I want to get rid of the Fan Clubs if I can, and the Lugia. We will get out possibly the Cassius. Let's get out the Cassius. We have enough Wailords right now, right here. Crazy deck, he says. It is a crazy deck indeed. It is a crazy deck indeed. And the Heavy Ball fails, that's okay. I just want to get rid of it. It is a crazy deck. And an annoying deck. Props to my opponent. Huge props to him to keep on playing. I mean, that is just fabulous of him. Very, very kind. Pokémon Fan Club. Let's heal up some damage and then let's Fan Club. Thin out our deck. Get rid of that Fan Club. We'll get the Lugia in our hand. Oh no, now I reshuffled my hand. I should not have done that. I reshuffled my deck. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was not supposed to do that. Let's see if my opponent attaches an energy. Is hitting for 130, 110. 110 is not enough for a knockout. With a DCE it would be enough for a knockout, I think. But I cannot use my Cassius anymore. Let's just hope he does not have the DCE. Not an energy, that's not a DCE. Okay, so we stay alive. We will Cassius. That was a little bit risky of me, I'm not gonna lie. That might have cost me the game if he had a DCE. Ooh, Max Potion. Let's Max Potion. Heal off that damage once more. And end our turn. We are actually pretty close to the deck out. Maybe I should not have wasted my Bunnelby there. We are actually pretty close to the deck out. Psychic Infinity. But there is no way we are decking out before my opponent at the moment. Enhanced Hammer. What could that discard? Could discard the Double Dragon Energy, but I don't want to waste my resources right now. I need to keep my resources. Because we need to use them. Does my opponent have any more VS Seekers? Does he play any more? If he does, he could actually take the game by taking ourselves out. Because he has possibly more resources than we do. This is a tough one. Do I Cassius or do I Lysandre? I probably should Cassius. You never know, he might retreat the Mewtwo. Yeah, I'm going to Cassius. I'm going to play safe. Put the Wailord and the Hard Charm back into my deck. Promote another Wailord, pass my turn. No, I don't think even if he plays VS Seeker, he discards his VS Seeker. So that's one less card he can use, and I think that will make him deck out before us. Our opponent is finding it very funny. I'm glad he does. I'm really glad he does. 160 on the Wailord. Oh boy, it's getting intense right now. It is getting intense right now. Let's go for the Lysandre. I could AZ up this Wailord, but it won't make a difference. I like this deck. Interesting. I like it too, very much. Okay, does he have a switch? Does he have anything to retreat this Mewtwo? If he does not, it is game. Maybe we should have done that all along, just go for the Lysandre. Let's heal up our Wailord a little bit. We are both liking this match very much. Very, very much. Oh, okay, we are safe for a moment here. And no, we are not. He gets another energy. What was I thinking? What was I even thinking? Of course he gets another energy. Hard Charm. I think I will put a Hard Charm on the Wailord on the bench. Maybe not. Let's just keep it in our hands. There is no need to put that Hard Charm down yet. We don't want to play cards if we don't have to. If we are not forced to play them. Has he got that last energy to get the retreat? A pass of the turn. Has he got it in him? We will heal up. 2 more cards left to go. Will we see another N? Let's count the energy once more. 7, 8, 9, 12. Then 5 in play, that's 17, 18, 19, 20 energy. This is a deck with 20 energy that we are up against. Can you believe it? A deck with 20 energy, and we might actually take the win against that deck. That is unbelievable. And decks with lots of energy are a pain in the ass for Wailord. Fighting through a belt, and that's it. It is the deck out. He plays Revive. Is going to revive a Pokemon, the Noibat. Is he going to do anything else? I will say GG. I will say GG. And thanks for the match. I really appreciate it. Really, really do. Listeners out our Wailords. That's my battery. My battery is dying. So we are finishing this game just in time. Yep. I'm not sure if that is a laugh of despair right now. Maybe it's just a laugh of despair. Don't tell me he's going to stall by getting downtime. You not boring. I not boring. Ah, fine. Thank you very much. Real. You not boring. Real. I like this deck. This conversation is just fantastic. And a smiley face. He probably got censored there. Might have said a swear word or two. You never know. Or he might have typed something like Facebook or YouTube, because that is censored as well in a chat for some reason. And a pass of the turn. It is a GG for my opponent, against my opponent, with the 20 energy deck. We take the win after 20 hours of gameplay and 20,000 turns. We managed to take the win with Wailord Stall. The best deck to climb the versus ladder, because it's so super fast to get wins. Well, it actually can be, as you saw in the first match, it can be very, very fast, but it also can be very, very, very long. Let's take a look at the stats. 1,400 damage dealt versus 0 damage healed versus 2,570 damage dealt for my opponent. Those are stats you only see with a Wailord deck. There is no other deck out there that has stats like that. If my opponent was playing a challenge, a dragon challenge for doing damage, that would have actually been a fantastic match for him. No MVP versus Noivern. We did flip 3 tails, as we noticed with our Team Rocket's Handiwork. We had the opportunity to close out the game, but we failed to do it. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the Wailord Stall deck, even if it was against a non-competitive deck in the end there from my opponent. Someone who probably just started out and was trying to put a deck together with Mega Mewtwo. I hope you have a truly Karp-tastic day, and I will see you next time with another episode in this PTCGO series.
Karp, 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 Karp.